All right, so I think we're all here. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's council meeting. First, on behalf of the City of Greater Geelong, I'd like to acknowledge the Wadawurrung people and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are with us this evening and joining us via the live stream. So just on that, the meeting is being broadcast on the internet and the recording will be published on the council's website. So tonight, the councillors of the City of Greater Geelong will be electing a deputy mayor for the remainder of the current mayoral term, finishing in November of 2026. As it's a special meeting of council, we won't be having public question time this evening, but I will ask if there are any apologies or leave of absence. I've noted everyone is here and there are no leave of absence noted, and ask, are there any declarations of conflict of interest in relation to tonight's agenda? No. So we then move to confirmation of the minutes. So may I please have a mover and a seconder to confirm the minutes of the council meeting that we had on the 24th of February, Councillor Aitken and Councillor Katos. So all those in favour? So that's carried unanimously. We'll now move on to the election of the Deputy Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong, and the election will be conducted in accordance with the Local Government Act of 2020 and the governance rules. And just for the benefit of everyone, the way it'll work is I'll ask for nominations one at a time. If there are more than one, everyone who is nominated needs a mover and a seconder. I'll then ask the person who's nominated whether they're willing to accept the nomination. Upon them saying that they are, they'll then be given 3 minutes to speak. At the conclusion of that, I'll ask for any further nominations, again with a mover and seconder. That person will then have the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes, and on it goes, depending on how many nominations we have. And at the end of that, we will then move to a vote on a show of hands. Okay, so can I please call for nominations for the election of Deputy Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong? Councillor Nelson.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to nominate Councillor Eddie Contell.
A seconder, Councillor Aitken.
I'd like to second that nomination.
Councillor Eddie Contell, are you willing to accept that nomination?
Yes, I am, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
You have 3 minutes to speak.
Thanks, Mr Mayor, and thank you to everyone that's turned up today, and particularly my fellow councillors for all being present tonight. Look, I've spoken to most of you already to this point, but I guess to reiterate, I certainly feel today I'm probably in the strongest position that I've ever been in to serve as Deputy Mayor for the coming 9 months, both in capacity and capability. As most of you would be aware, I've been an elected councillor since 2010. In that time, I've worked both in multi-councillor wards and single councillor wards. And equally during that 15-odd years, I've held just about every portfolio that we have. Not every, but pretty close to it, including our Aboriginal and Multicultural Affairs portfolio and our finance portfolio. I've worked closely and loyally with 9 deputy mayors and 8 mayors over that time, and I'd like to think that I've been a good contributor, and I've learnt a lot about civic leadership as a result of that. And I'm looking forward to, if I'm fortunate enough to be elected deputy mayor tonight, to working with our current mayor. Professionally, I've held senior positions in medium to large businesses over the last 20-odd years. Other than my first term as councillor, I must admit I always have given consideration as to whether I would put myself forward for mayor or deputy. But as everyone around this chamber knows, it takes a certain environment, whether it be your personal life is in order, whether it be you've got enough time in your professional life, and any other responsibilities that you may have. Some of the work that I'm doing has changed over the last 14 months. I'm no longer a direct managing director of a day-to-day business, which is giving me now more time to be able to focus on other areas and responsibilities, particularly my community responsibilities here of the City of Greater Geelong. I've got a beautiful family, and my girls are now grown up, whilst perhaps not as reliant on me as they once were. It does, again, allow me the opportunity to be able to focus on my community responsibilities. I guess I'd argue that I probably know the Mayor better than anyone else in this room. I think I understand the pressures and challenges that he's under as the Mayor. Also understand his priorities and understand his work style. In fact, I've served on this council with the current Mayor for some 7 years in total. So I'd like to think that from that point I'll be a good support for him publicly, but also be able to offer measured and counsel and advice when needed. The other important aspect of being Deputy Mayor I see is supporting the councillor group. And with that, I commit to working very hard to ensure that we continue to perform as a high-performing team so that we can continue to deliver for our community. I've heard the buzzer go off, so I better get better at timekeeping if I am fortunate enough to be elected as Deputy Mayor. So I'll leave it with that, leave it at that, and respectfully ask for your support with the vote. So thank you.
Councillor Eddie Contell. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Sinclair.
Thank you. I would like to nominate my friend and colleague, Councillor Elise Wilkinson, a very hard-working member for her community and brings a wonderful empathetic lens.
And a seconder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to second that nomination.
Thank you, Councillor Story. Councillor Wilkinson, do you accept that nomination?
I do. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
So 3 minutes, likewise, and a little bit more.
Thank you. So this is my second term and my third year as a councillor, so perhaps a relatively fresh gaze and fresh eyes. During this time, I have taken on several key responsibilities as part of my role, including the Geelong Main Events Committee, the Library Board, the CEO Employment Remuneration Committee, and portfolios of the environment, circular economy, arts and culture, social and affordable housing, access and inclusion, active open spaces, and veterans last term. I've also undertaken further study, including the AICD Board Directors course. In my career as a social worker, I've held leadership roles in the not-for-profit sector and in public health. I continue to work with some of the most vulnerable people living in Geelong and have done for the last 25 years. I bring a knowledge of complex service systems in Geelong and the surrounding regions and skills in resource management and advocacy. I've demonstrated capacity to have difficult conversations and with multiple stakeholders at times with competing interests. I balance my work with my council responsibilities to ensure I prioritise attendance at briefings. I've attended every monthly council meeting since my first election. I also actively participate in significant initiatives by the Mayor, including future Geelong CBD revitalisation forums and the upcoming homelessness forum. It was at the Future Geelong Forum where the point was made clearly by the CEO of Barwon Health and the Vice-Chancellor at Deakin University that as we drive growth in Geelong, we need to ensure we do not drive inequity. This is exactly the skill set and lens that I bring. As councillors, we need to ensure that we take everyone with us. Equity in opportunities, safety, good health, education, housing, and the capacity for choice and control for our members of our community is a driving force for me as a councillor. As Deputy Mayor, I would bring a complementary skill set to Mayor Contell. I have a different lived experience, other professional skills, and my own values and ideas, which is actually a strength. Diversity in leadership avoids groupthink. It provides greater balance of views that are more representative of the community we serve. We are stronger when we all work together. Over the last 18 months, I've developed a really strong and constructive working relationship with the Mayor, the foundation of which is my integrity. I'm not a member of a political party, any political party. I am independent. I make decisions which align with my values and have the support from my community to be here and take on this leadership role. What you see is what you get. By putting my hand up for this position, I provide a viable choice for our councillor group. As your Deputy Mayor, I would continue as I have started, honest, respectful, collaborative, but also curious, challenging and accountable. I thank you all for your consideration.
Councillor Wilkinson, are there any other nominations? No. If not, as I intimated at the start, we'll now put the nominations to the vote in the order in which they were nominated. So first, if there are no further nominations, I put the name up of Councillor Eddie Contell and ask those who support him for Deputy Mayor for the term till the end of November 2026 to vote now by show of hands. Those in favour of Councillor Eddie Contell as Deputy Mayor? It's a majority vote, so I declare Councillor Eddie Contell Deputy Mayor for City Grade Geelong to November 2026. Thank you to both Councillor Eddie and to Councillor Wilkinson. Yeah. I'll now invite Deputy Mayor, Councillor Eddie Contell, to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and of course, thank you to my fellow councillors for electing me to this privileged position. Deputy Mayor of the world's greatest city, being Geelong, and I really am humbled, and I really do find it to be a pleasure and an honour, and I also thank Councillor Lees for putting yourself forward, and you spoke wonderfully and bring a lot to the table, so thank you very much. Of course, to the community, thank you for entrusting in me since 2010, representing the council at this table and in the chamber. Really is one of the greatest honours of my life, and I say that sincerely. It's a responsibility that I never take lightly, and each day I strive to, I guess, use my skills, my experience, whether it be my business or community acumen, to try to give back to the city that has given so much to me and my family. As the son of migrant parents, with English being our second language, raised and educated in Bell Park and Bellpost Hill, the path wasn't always certain. Like many young people, I faced many forks in the road, but with modest beginnings and strong family values, disciplined parenting, the support of neighbours and of course my siblings, my brother and my sister, I was guided by hard work, integrity, deep respect for the community, and I'm by no means perfect, but thankfully I made more good choices than poor choices, and it's those values that continue to shape the way that I serve today. As I mentioned before, I do share a trusting relationship with the Mayor. I mentioned that I believe I understand his priorities, and he's made those very clear to all of us. I understand his leadership style, and I think now, having seen 9 deputy mayors and 8 mayors in their roles, I think I understand the pressures that they are under, and I will certainly do all that I can to support the Mayor publicly and personally. Of course, when there's counsel to be given, I'll do that in a considered manner. As I said earlier as well, the Deputy Mayor's role is to foster and collaborate and work in unity across the councillor group, and it's something that I would really like to excel at, and so I'll put a lot of work in working with the team. In terms of the community, I do feel that we still have work to do in establishing respectful working relationships in certain areas of our community, perhaps rebuilding of some relationships that might be a little strained, and equally nurturing the healthy and strong relationships that we have, and we have many of those. And the Mayor has done a power of work in this space, and this is something that I'm keen to also proactively work on. Personally, I feel as a council and as a community, we really should focus on everything local. That's my focus, and certainly my mantra: supporting local events, local initiatives, working on local challenges and opportunities, while celebrating everything that's good and great about Geelong and Australia. I don't think we need to get distracted with world events. We've got enough going on in our own region. There's no arguing we're blessed with a vibrant city that rivals any capital city. We've got cosmopolitan dining, sporting and entertainment hubs, extraordinary bay, world-class beaches, picturesque countryside, and of course our breathtaking Yuyangs. And now very close to having our own convention centre. So, as I've said before, I think our aspirations should only ever be limited by our imagination. So there's certainly plenty more work to do, but before signing off, I'd like to thank our immediate past Deputy Mayor, being Councillor Ron Nelson. I know that the Mayor had an opportunity to thank you last week. I, as well, would like to thank you on behalf of all of us. Councillor Ron, you've been an excellent deputy to work with. You've collaborated well, and I look forward to learning from you and your experience, as I do from others in this room, each and every one of you, and particularly those that have served in the leadership roles that I've just stepped into. And then finally, from the bottom of my heart, I certainly thank my beautiful and incredibly supportive family, especially my selfless wife Maria, and my three daughters, Kira, Macy and Mia, who probably cannot remember a day when I wasn't on council, but it's because of your love and support that I'm able to serve the way I do. So thank you. I don't take that for granted at all. With that said, I thank you all once again. I'm extremely proud, and I will do the best possible job I can for the community, and I'll ensure that I continue to be very accessible and available. Thank you.
Councillor Eddie Contell, well said, and congratulations again on behalf of all of us here. I'm sure you'll do a great job. That now concludes the process of the election of the Deputy Mayor. We have no further business to consider this evening, so may I please have a mover and a seconder to close the meeting? Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Sinclair. So all those in favour? So that's unanimous. So I now call the meeting closed at 6:18. And I'd like to thank everyone who's attended in person and also those who have joined us virtually. Good evening, everyone. So we'll close off the meeting. And the councillors, don't forget, we've still got some work to do after this. So don't go running away.
Well.
Yeah.